material. So step 5 is to evaluate the bids. Okay, we have discussed this class. No? Upon receipt of the Bids and Awards Committee and the Secretariat of the bid envelope, okay, syempre, kailangan nilang i-open at i-evaluate yung bid documents, okay, na sinubmit ng mga bidders, okay, and other pertinent documents necessary required doon sa as attachment. What is the purpose of bid evaluation? The purpose is to determine the LCB, the lowest calculated bid. Okay? So this is done by establishing correct calculated price of the bids through detailed evaluation of the financial component of the bids and ranking of the total bid prices as to calculated from lowest to the highest. The bid with the lowest price shall be identified as LCB, lowest calculated bid. When should the bids be evaluated? The entire evaluation process for bids for procurement of goods must be completed in not more than 7 calendar days from the deadline of the receipt of proposal. So kapag may deadline po yung invitation to bid, tapos meron ng deadline nung pag-submit ng bidding, yung evaluation ay 7 days from that particular deadline. Okay, so ma-evaluate na. However, the BAC should exert effort to complete the bid evaluation even before the lapse of the 15-day period. Okay, and this shall expedite the procurement process. Who are the participants in bid evaluation process? Siyempre, class, hindi nakasama yung bidder dyan sa pag-evaluate ng bid, no? Kasi nasubmit na nila. Sa ano lang sila, sa pre-bid conference sila participant. So the participants in the bid evaluation process are the Bid and Awards Committee, the Technical Working Group, the Secretariat, and observers. No? Yung other possible na employees o kaya naman officials na hindi kasama dun sa BAC. Okay? O kaya naman sa procuring entity. Separate para lang meron kumbaga witness, no, na ganito evaluation process done by the BAC. How are bids evaluated? So after preliminary examination of bids, the BAC or through the TWG shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids rated passed. So yung mga failed, tanggal na. Yung passed, i-evaluate. Non-discretionary pass or fail criteria as stated in the invitation to bid, which shall include consideration of the following. Based on the detailed evaluation of bids, those that comply with above mentioned requirements shall be ranked. So after that, after evaluation, ira-rank in ascending order of their total calculated bid prices. Okay? Para ma-identify ang lowest calculated bid. Yan. After all bids have been received, opened, examined, evaluated, and ranked, the BAC shall prepare the corresponding abstract of bid. And all members of BAC shall sign the abstract of bid and attach thereto all the bids with their corresponding bid securities and minutes proceedings of the bidding. Kung ano yung process, may minutes dyan. The observers shall also sign in the said abstract. Okay? So kumbaga witnesses sila. And the TWG with the assistance of the BAC Secretariat when directed by the BAC, Bids and Awards Committee, should prepare the evaluation report containing the details of evaluation conducted, preferably within 3 calendar days from the date of evaluation conclusion or concluded, when the evaluation was concluded. So ito yung step, no? Alamin kung sino yung mga bidders na pumasa. Tapos i-evaluate at i-rank. Diba? And then after that, prepare an abstract of bid. Okay? Napipirmahan ng BAC. At the same time, yung mga observers. Okay? And the TWG shall prepare the evaluation report. Okay? So take note of that. So i-note lang natin, class, ha? We have here determine kung sino yung mga pumasa. Then identify the lowest calculated bid. Ira-rank natin. Then prepare the abstract of bid to be signed by the BAC and the observers, and the TWG shall prepare the evaluation report within 3 calendar days from the date the evaluation was concluded. Then after step 5, we have post-qualification. Okay, post-qual. Okay? What is post-qualification? It is the process of verifying, validating, and ascertaining all the statements made and documents submitted by the bidder. So yung mga bidders with the lowest calculated bid, no, yung winning bidder, isisiguraduhin muna, i-verify, kaya post-qualification, i-verify lahat ng mga sinabmit. Talaga nga bang nakapag-renew siya ng business permit? Talaga nga bang ito yung kanyang renewed PCAB? Okay? Which includes ascertaining the said bidder's compliance with legal, okay, financial, and technical requirements. If its eligibility document had been validated and verified and its compliance with legal, financial, and technical requirements of bid had been ascertained, the bidder must be declared the bidder with the LCRB. Ano yung LCRB? Lowest Calculated Responsive Bid. So siya na po yung winning bidder. Okay, pero hindi ibig sabihin na na-declare na siyang LCRB, pwede na niyang simulan. Dapat may awarding muna ng contract at merong notice to proceed. So, what does post-qualification entail? Okay, the post-qualification involves the BAC verifying, validating, ascertaining the bidder that the bidder satisfies the following criteria. First, the legal requirement. Second, the technical. And third, the financial requirement. Legal, meaning post-qualification process under criterion involves the verification, validation, ascertaining of supplier's claim that it is not included in government blacklist. Hindi po siya na blacklist para makapag-bid. Okay? As well as all the licenses, yung PCAB license niya, permit niya, business permit, and other documents such as yung FS ay nasubmit. Okay? Legal requirements refer to legal documents submitted by the bidder as part of eligibility requirements such as SEC registration, kung yan ay partnership or corpo, DTI business name registration, kapag sole prop, mayor's permit, etc. Yan. Technical requirement. The post-qualification under this criterion means that the BAC would have to validate, verify, and ascertain the veracity of documents submitted by the supplier to prove compliance of goods and services offered with the requirements of the contract and bidding document. Meaning, titingnan muna no, yung specifications, no, kung yung requirement ba na nasa contract and bidding document ay na-comply ng supplier. Okay? Kaya niyang i-deliver yung specification na yon. And financial requirement, under this criterion, the BAC ought to verify, validate, ascertain the bid price proposal of the bidder. Whenever applicable, its computation of NFCC, the net financial capacity, contracting capacity, the required bank commitment to provide credit line to the bidder or hold out the deposit status of cash deposit certificate. In short, class, kaya niyang pondohan yung project. Kung yan po ay infrastructure project, okay, yung NFCC niya, capacity niya to fund the said project ay equal or more than the ABC. This is to ensure that the bidder can sustain the operating cash flow of the transaction. So ito yung mga post-qualification criteria na dapat ipasa ng LCRB, Lowest Contracted or Calculated Responsive Bid. Ayan. So we have LTF, legal, technical, and financial requirement. What is the timeline for the conduct of post-qualification? It should be conducted and completed within 7 calendar days from the determination of LCB, the lowest calculated bid. However, in the procurement of goods requiring elaborate testing, okay, such as equipment sourced from abroad, other exceptional cases, the head of procuring entity may extend the post-qualification period. In no case should the aggregate period exceed 30 calendar days. So pwedeng i-extend basta't wag lang lumagpas ng 30 days, calendar days. Now, who are involved in the post-qualifications? Ganun ulit, BAC, TWG, Secretariat, and the eligible supplier, manufacturer ranked starting from bidder with the lowest calculated bid. So yung LCB, lowest calculated bid, or the lowest calculated responsive bidder, kasama po siya dun sa post-qualification. Siyempre, yung mga documents na i-check or i-verify ng BAC, TWG, at saka Secretariat, siya yung magpro-provide niyan. And how is post-qualification conducted? So, paano? What's the method? Okay? First, the BAC, TWG, or Technical Working Group, verifies, validates, and ascertains the genuineness, validity, and accuracy of legal, technical, and financial. LTF documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using the non-discretionary criteria described above. And then after this, okay, the BAC or TWG conduct site inspection. So pupuntahan po yung business site, plant or factory nung supplier, yung LCB, lowest calculated bidder. And the BAC test the sample for compliance with specification performance level where applicable. Okay, so say for example, ang winning bidder ay magsusupply ng pick-up na ang makina ay 2.5L. So pupuntahan mo, say for example, nanalo is Toyota, pupuntahan yung Toyota branch ganito, branch Quezon City, inspect, okay, ng BAC or TWG. Then TWG BAC inquires about bidder's performance in relation with other contracts as indicated in its eligibility statement, statement of ongoing, completed, and awarded contract. So i-verify kung ongoing pa ba yung kontrata mo. Okay? Say for example, kung ikaw naman ay construction company, may ongoing ka pa bang concreting na project na nilagay mo doon? Completed na ba talaga tong project na ito? Or na-award ba yung contract sa'yo? Okay, so veracity. No? Pag nag-inquire ang BAC at saka TWG and they found out na hindi pala totoo yung mga claims mo dito, ay pwede po sa post-qualification ay ikaw ay bumagsak. At pag bumagsak ka, sayang naman, hindi ikaw yung magiging lowest calculated bidder, lowest calculated responsive bidder, yung susunod na, kaya nirarank. Yun naman ang next na i-verify. Step 5, if the TWG conducts the post-qualification, it prepares post-qualification report to be submitted to the BAC. Okay, so ang TWG ang gagawa ng report, isasubmit kay BAC. Okay? Now the report shall contain, among others, the activity undertaken with regard to the post-qualification process, feedback from inquiries, so yung mga information na nag-gather and results of any test conducted by the TWG or accredited government testing center. The BAC reviews the post-qualification report submitted by the TWG. Okay? And the BAC determines whether the bidder with LCB passes all the criteria or post-qualification. Okay? Then, number 8, if the lowest calculated bidder passes the post-qualification, the BAC declares it as the lowest calculated responsive bidder. So after post-qual, dun ka palang madedeclare na LCRB. Okay? And after the BAC has determined the LCRB, the Secretariat with the assistance of TWG prepares the BAC resolution declaring the LCRB and the corresponding notice to the said bidder informing it of its post-qualification. So yung BAC resolution, isasubmit naman yan kay Hope, and then ito na po yung maging basis para mai-award naman yung contract doon sa lowest calculated responsive bidder. So what happens if the bidder with LCB fails post-qualification? Ito yung dinidiscuss ko po kanina, no? If the bidder with LCB fails to pass, okay, siya po yung may pinakamababang bid price. Yung si Juan de la Cruz, for example, Juan de la Cruz Company, 10 million. Pedro, 9.5. Carlo, 9 million. So si Carlo ang lowest calculated bidder, di ba? Pero Carlo failed to pass the post-qualification. And what will happen? The BAC shall immediately notify the said bidder in writing of the post-disqualification. Uy, ikaw po, Carlo, ay na-disqualify. At ito yung mga grounds for disqualification. Possible na yung legal, technical, and financial requirements ay meron pong hindi na-comply. No? The post-disqualification bidder shall have 3 calendar days from receipt of the said notice to request from the BAC, okay, if so wishes, kung gusto lang naman niya, i-reconsideration of its decision. I-reconsider. Then the BAC shall evaluate the request for reconsideration para siyang MR, motion for reconsideration, if any using the same non-discretionary criteria, and shall issue its final determination of the said request within 7 calendar days. Say for example, kaya pala na post disqualify kasi yung provisional pa lang, no, yung nakuha niya na say for example renewal ng permit sa business kasi hindi pa niya nababayaran. So kapag ganun, baka naman isa sa mga legal requirements ay hindi niya na-comply. Okay? Then pwede siyang mag-MR na kung papayagan ng BAC, sige basta i-submit mo within this period, okay, kung papayagan siya. So, ide-determine niya ng BAC within 7 calendar days from the receipt ng MR or request for reconsideration. Similar to the cases of bidders deemed to be ineligible and whose bids are rated failed, the bidder with LCB who fails to pass the post-qualification may likewise file a protest with the payment of corresponding fee in case of BAC denies its request for reconsideration. Immediately after the BAC has notified the first bidder of its post-disqualification, ito possible na tanungin to sa board Okay? Paano kapag yung after ng determination na at na-notify yung first bidder of its disqualification, what will happen? Okay? And notwithstanding any pending request for reconsideration, kahit na mag-MR siya, the BAC shall initiate and complete the same post-qualification process on the bidder with second lowest calculated bid. Okay? If the second bidder passes the post-qualification and provided that request for reconsideration of the first bidder has been denied. So pag pumasa si second at na-deny yung MR, okay, the BAC shall declare the second bidder as the lowest calculated responsive bidder. Pero kapag may second bidder or lowest calculated bidder pero hindi na-deny at na-grant yung reconsideration, balik pa rin tayo dun sa first. Balik pa rin tayo dun sa first. The head of the procuring entity shall then award the contract to it. So mag-a-award po ay si HOPE, Hope. Could either be the mayor, the governor, or yung na-discuss natin ng mga head of procuring entity. If the second bidder, however, fails to post-qualification, the procedure for post-qualification shall be repeated for the bidder with the next LCB. So, i-rank natin hanggang maubos, hanggang sa ma-determine kung sino yung lowest calculated responsive bidder. Paano kapag lahat sila ay na-disqualify, na post-disqualify? Di merong failure of bidding. Diba? So what happens if all bidders fail to post-qualification? Then if no bidder passes, okay, the BAC shall issue resolution declaring the failure of bidding. Wala pong nanalo. In such a case, the BAC shall issue resolution declaring a failure of bidding. The BAC then reviews and the terms and conditions stated in the IAEB or invitation to bid. If warranted, it changes any of the terms and conditions, including quantities and specification, provided that ABC is left unchanged. Okay, hindi nagbago yung authorized budget for the contract. It must thereafter conduct a rebidding. So ipapa-rebid kapag may failure of bidding. In the process formulated in the new AIEB, and posting, publishing, and these are required, okay, as required. And step 7, we have awarding of the contract. Okay, what is the rule on the award of the contract? The contract shall be awarded to the bidder with the lowest calculated responsive bid, LCRB. At na-discuss natin kanina, kapag nag-post disqualify yung first in rank, yung second in rank ang i-check ulit kung qualified na siya. Okay, and so on. Yan. And is submitted bid price or its calculated bid price, whichever is lower. So the BAC shall issue a resolution recommending the Hope or head of procuring entity award of contract to the bidder with the LCRB. So yung BAC, pag nag-issue na resolution, head of procuring entity, ito po ang lowest calculated responsive bidder, si Juan de la Cruz Company, i-award na natin sa kanya. And submitted bid price or calculated bid price, whichever is lower. Prior to expiration of the period of bid validity, the procuring entity should notify the successful bidder in writing that its bid has been accepted through a notice of award. Okay? So may NOA, no, received personally or sent by registered mail or electronically. So ino-notify po yung successful bidder who is the LCRB. It is important that in case of notice of award is not received personally, its receipt must be confirmed in writing within 2 days by successful bidder and submitted personally or sent by registered mail or electronically to procuring entity. What is the timeline for the contract award? Okay, the head of procuring entity or his duly authorized representative should approve or disapprove, okay, the recommendation award within 7 calendar days from the date the determination and declaration of the BAC of the lowest calculated responsive bidder. So within 7 days, pwede pong i-approve or disapprove ng head of procuring entity. At kapag na-approve, that's the time na meron pong awarding of contract. It does not automatically mean plus na kapag na-award na yung kontrata, ay pwede ninyang simulan yung kontrata. Okay? So 7 calendar days. Who are involved in the awarding of contract? The head of procuring entity, the BAC, procurement office, secretariat, and the bidder who submitted the lowest, okay, calculated responsive bid or the second lowest calculated responsive bid. Ayan, na-discuss natin to kanina. What is the maximum period of time within which a contract can be awarded? Contract award must be made within 80 calendar days from the date of bid opening but not to exceed bid validity period as specified in the bidding documents. If award cannot be made within the said period, the bid validity period should be extended. Now, what happens if the bidder being considered for award does not accept? Ikaw naman, nanalo ka na nga na lowest calculated responsive bidder, ayaw mo namang tanggapin. If the bidder refuses to accept the award within bid validity period, the BAC shall forfeit the bid security, yung ibinayad po na security ng mga bidders, and shall initiate blacklisting. Iba-blacklist ka. Okay? The refusal to accept an award without just cause. Ano ba kasing dahilan bakit ayaw mo tanggapin? For purpose of forcing the procurement entity to award a contract to another bidder, if proven, is meted with penalty of imprisonment of not less than 6 years. Ayan, kung ayaw mo i-accept, award, nakibid ka, ikaw nanalo, ayaw mo i-accept without any just cause, you can be imprisoned for 6 years and 1 day but not more than 15 years. Grabe, no? 15 years. Additional penalty of suspension for 1 year from participation government procurement for the first offense, suspension for the second offense, and shall be imposed on the bidder.